what we did yesterday. So yesterday we covered a few topics. We had a awesome discussion with Samir on disruptions, past, present, and future. We saw what were the black swan events that happened in the past and how companies should look at for moving forward in these times and disruptions which keep happening. Next was track one and track two, where we saw building winning products and a radically new business environment by Sneha and Mark. And we had business goals in the new normal by Vishal. Um, we followed it up with a workshop at the end of the day for registered participants, where we showed a few tricks, and it was about facilitating with style in a remote setup. So, just a reminder for everyone, whoever has missed these sessions, some of these sessions are available on YouTube, and we try posting all these sessions on YouTube on a daily basis. Uh, Moving on to the next one. So, yeah, all right. Sorry. Right. So, some technical glitch. All right. We'll talk about the today day two session. What we have.
Aditya, do you want to go
Yeah.
into presentation mode?
I'm trying to, but it's showing me that this slide did not load.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see the slide?
No, I can't, but maybe reloading your browser might help.
Yeah, I'll do that.
There you go. Should work now.
Yeah, should work now. So, yeah, awesome. All right, so we're going to start with a Pecha Kucha, which is an era of entrepreneurs and decision makers by Vinayaka. Uh, After that, we'll have two tracks. Track one will have a few sessions, which is maybe a new normal but the same world by chapter 80. We'll have learnings for business analysts in the remote setup by Khushbu and Sony. After that, we'll have reimagining the future of hyperlocal retail by Jasmeet. Uh, Track two, we are going to cover Infamous Digital Disruptor by Genevieve. We'll have After Corona Business Model Patterns by Aditya Kulkarni. And after that, we'll have Business Analysts in XR World by Hari. Uh, we are going to end today's session on a high note with panel discussion on disruptions and innovation in retail uh, with Manish, Sebastian, and Lisa. All right. Just a reminder for everyone that all these are on YouTube Live as well. And just a few logistics points. All these sessions have independent webinar links. You should have received a mail, and these are all available on the website as well. We are following the dual track for both the days. And yeah, we feel free to join in any of the webinars that you'd be interested in. So without wasting much time now, I'll move on to the next one, which is Zenobia. Over to you.
Right. So, as we discussed yesterday as well, there are certain ground rules we wish to follow here. Starting with being punctual for sessions, this also helps you as well as the people presenting to maintain a certain flow of information. Following that, using the question answer section at the bottom of your screen so that we can track the questions and help answer them in a better way. Be civil, use the chats liberally. Please indulge in, interacting, but no abuses. And last but not the least, do share feedback because that helps us improve better. Moving on, I would just take this opportunity to introduce Vinayak. Vinayak is a software product designer, a mentor, a developer with over 8 years of experience from cloud to e commerce and networks. His strength is to truly understand the product requirements, the design and best product experience for the customers in a limited time, and improvise products over a long term. In his own words, his success mantra is great products are built by great teams and not individuals. Over to you, Vinayak.
Thanks, Anuvia. Thanks, Aditya. So let me quickly start sharing my screen. Yes. Hey folks, I hope the presentation is visible to you all. Yeah. I'm Vinayak. I'm an investor, entrepreneur, writer, and a software designer currently working at HPE. So I'm here to share my team collaboration experience with you all. So I hope it is mostly suitable for all entrepreneurs and decision makers over here. I hope you guys will enjoy this. Yeah. So, as we all know, because of this pandemic, the lockdowns were introduced in all the countries. Because of that, the business started taking hit, the revenues were lost, the enterprise has to close all the offices, people used to start working from home. And as we all know that the traditional collaboration mechanism, which we know were not suited for any of these kind of situations. So if you see till now, there are big companies like Google, ThoughtWorks, HP, Facebook, Twitter, etc. They are planning to do WFH as a long-term scalable solution. So they are working around that. And there are a lot of companies like Slack, Zoom, innovative in this space. So which is great to see. So if you observe, and I believe honestly that whenever there is a hit in the revenue or whenever there is a humanity at stake, I think the innovation happens. And this era we are seeing both. So I believe that from the small scale entrepreneur to a large scale top executives need to make decisions and figure out their innovative ways to minimize the loss. So I'm here to share my personal four experience with you all, like how we as a team are collaborating in this pandemic era, and I hope these four experience will be mostly common for all the teams over here. Yeah. Yes. So the first one, if we see, right, any software designing or development, right, if we see the entire life cycle, the planning and design takes 50% of the total time. And this was one of the crucial stage for us. And when our software is in a crucial state, we went to the lockdowns and we had to innovate a way on how we can do our planning and design. So if you observe, when we in the traditional office world, we used to go to whiteboards, the team used to gather at one place, we used to discuss all together, and we used to arrive at a conclusion. Maybe the discussions were long as, but we used to arrive at the conclusions. But these kind of setups are no more feasible in this work from home or the remote work era. So we had to figure out an alternative way. So one of our old friend, which is documentation, which helped us to do this. So what we did is we started documenting even the simple, smaller clip arts too, just to make sure that the documentation captures everything. So people started interacting with the document instead of going to a long hour calls, and we finally saw a good result. So yeah. Second, one of the important thing about the software development is when the development happened and when the deployment happens. So there are a lot of communication involved between multiple teams. So traditionally, how it used to happen is we used to gather at a meeting room, we used to discuss, we used to share our thoughts, and we used to close. But now this is not feasible. And if you observe it clearly, right, if anybody is here who's a gamer who knows that the in-person gaming experience gives a much more flexibility compared to the remote. Same with the office culture. When we are in office, we can talk in person and we can arrive at a quicker discussions and we can have a shorter conversations. But in remote era, it is very difficult because the other person may be busy, difficult, or anywhere. So we started relying on the traditional concept of channels. So instead of using our team channels just for our team conversation, we started creating all discussion channels, which is independent for discussions. So then a person with the question will go to a discussion channel and share his experience. And the other person, whoever has a feedback, they can share it around that. Yeah. Third one, what we, and I'm sure like most of us will be facing it as when to discuss and when to work, because in case of remote, everybody will be most of our time going in discussions. So the same we started feeling in our team, the most of the senior folks were busy in discussion and they were not getting time enough to work for their own work. So if you see initially, right, the people used to go to the senior folks, ask their questions, and the senior people used to explain them. And then once that is done, they used to go back to their desk and finish the work. But now the problem is most of the senior folks were busy in their own discussion. So there are a lot of impact happening on the product deliveries. So we had to see how we can liberate on that. And then we started realizing that in a traditional office experience, we get a window of 11 to 5 because of the traffic and the people coming to office at a different time frame. So we started realizing that okay, that is not no more a constraint. So we can start dividing our discussion time and working time. So we felt that by doing that we'll get a lot of time. So we started doing with 4+4 mantra. In that 4 hours we kept it dedicatedly for discussion, which will be usually starting at 8:30 to 12:30 in the afternoon, just to make sure that the US Indian time overlaps. And then the second half where people can just go and start working on their own. So this one we started following very carefully. Yeah. So on the decisions and approval. So if you observe, right, in a traditional office work, if you have any problems, you have a suggestion, you just go to a person and you just ask their approval, and then you go and execute. But now in the remote work era, this is a bigger problem, because the person who needs to give an approval may be busy in discussions, and the approval take time. So if you observe, this is happening because of hierarchy. There is a top-down model we have followed, because the people at a higher level will take a bigger decision, and the people who report to them will actually follow and execute it. This is no more scalable, because even for a smaller discussion, smaller decisions, you need to wait for the approval. Then it will involve a lot of deadline delays. So we started feeling that trust factor is missing. So me as a person, when I take decision, I expect people to trust me, and I take a full credibility of that. The same we thought that okay, why not we will make it for everyone. So everybody take a call, we trust you, and you share your feedback in all the channels wherever available, and we will see, we will analyze. So at the end, I believe that in this pandemic era, we need a great teamwork to build great product, and it can happen with the collaboration, and we need to figure out a way. And I try to share my experience with you all. Hope you enjoyed it. So if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, share all these channels, and please do comment, so we will come to know your feedback. Thanks team ThoughtWorks. Thanks to me. Thanks Pooja for your time. And yes, it was a great experience for me to share with you all. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Vinayak. That was awesome. So just for people who don't know what Pecha Kucha is 20 seconds per slide. The concept, it's designed that way. So Vinayak had about 6 minutes and 40 seconds to complete his entire presentation, and each slide could only be given 20 seconds. I hope everyone liked this. We are going to now move to our other sessions. We'll start posting the links to the next one over here on the chat window. So we have two sessions starting right now. We have a session on maybe a new normal, but the same world by Richa. And we have parallelly, we have the infamous digital disruptor by Genevieve. So both these links, we'll just put it over here, the webinar links for people to start joining. Okay. This is for Richa's session, and this one is for Genevieve's session coming up. All right. Thank you, people, for joining.